And welcome to another beautiful, crisp winter night in the city of Baltimore. This is XTY. I'm in the building with, I'm sorry, ooh, I am TN in the building with
Ayoka T. Price. Are you
Happy,
here? Hey.
happy Monday. Listen, while I was getting ready to introduce myself, like, hello, TN. Hello, T. How are you today? Happy MLK Day, T.
Oh
Happy
yeah, it is MLK.
MLK. Yes, happy MLK. How are you feeling? How are you feeling today?
I'm sorry. It seems like it's a little delayed on my end. My
Good.
bad. I'm not ignoring you.
It's okay. It's okay.
uh,
Okay.
Everything is good. It's a weird day today. I mean, is Mercury getting ready retrograde or something? Because
I
the
don't know.
the
You know about
communication is
that.
like,
You know that. You know I don't know about that. So that's all you like. You all with the You all with the retrograde and all that. I don't know nothing.
oh man.
I know nothing about that. All I know is it's my we still dealing with COVID and I'm still in the house. So I don't know what to tell you about that part too.
Yeah, it's definitely this COVID situation. I don't know. Today, just the energy just felt a little bit heavy, and I don't know if it's because of everything that's taken place um in the world, period. So I'm just trying not to take on some of that energy because
Yeah.
yeah,
Because you know it can get you.
a lot. It's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot. Um, but besides that, like everything has been chill. I can't complain. I'm grateful again, that we're able to be without COVID and
Mhm.
safe and sound. I'm sitting here trying to debate like, do I want to get the vaccine? Then I'm like, no, I don't want to get it, but I don't feel like tiptoeing no more. I'm just ready to be fit. I want to be free, girl. I'm so sick and tired of living like this.
And the crazy part about this is, I already got it. So
Hmm.
I got to get to day. I got to get to the second dose. But so far, I ain't had no issues with it. So I'm banking on getting it taken care of and pretty much being okay. So before we get into the show though, as y'all can see, we do have a guest. He's been sitting here very, very peacefully, very chill. Marvin Briscoe was with us. He's going to talk about his Boys to Men mentoring, the mentoring program in the city of Baltimore, which I think is extremely dope because that's what we need, especially in this city. We need that. We need that. We need that. Hello, Marvin. Thank you for joining
Hi.
us today. Everybody, say, hey, Marvin.
Hello, everybody. How you doing?
All right, so we're going to get into that shortly. For those that are just tuning in for the first time, make sure you like us, you follow us on our YouTube, our Facebook, our Instagram, our Snapchat, at the XTY show. Make sure you like our YouTube at XTY. Make sure you like that because that's what actually benefits us. That's what actually benefits us the most, the very most. Do we have any shout outs, anything T that we have to give before we get started?
um, no, we don't have any shout outs, but you know what? Matter of fact, we do have like $10 ad space available now. So if you want to showcase your business on our show at the ticker, if you notice going across the bottom of the screen, we'll put your business information there and we also market you on our XTY Instagram and Facebook page as well. It's just $10 for the ad space. It helps support um, our show as far as paying for broadcasting and bringing guests on for free. Um, and that's about it. We can shout out Janice Jules, so make sure you follow her. That will go across the ticker as well. And Thub Nail, and I'm saying that right. Housewives of
Oh,
Baltimore Nail Salon.
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
Thub.
yes, yes, yes.
Yep, support our sponsors because they are supporting us. Thank you.
Make sure that y'all support these black businesses because they like are like the best thing to ever happen. So make sure that. Yeah. All right, so we're actually going to get into today's show for the day. Marvin, we are going to talk to you probably a little, well, not, well, we'll be talking to you shortly, but have been watching the show, you know that for the past, what, 3 or 4 shows, we have been
Hmm.
discussing this book right here, Relationship. It is the Black Book, which is brought to you by David Lloyd. David L. Marcus, who is a very dope author. Like his books are really, really good. If you have not checked them out, you should. You can find him on Facebook. He's on Instagram. He's under David Lloyd, right? David
Yep.
Lloyd is or under David L.
Or
Marcus.
Dr.
Or,
Instagram is
or
Dr.
Dr. Ouch.
Ouch. Yes.
Yeah, so as you know that we've been going over this book for like the past 3 or 4 shows. I want to say this is probably like number 4. And I figured that especially now because people are getting vaccinated now, soon it's gonna be the outside is gonna be open, it's gonna be summertime, it's gonna be that time, like cuffing season is about to be over and people gonna start breaking up. Or like it's about to be summertime. So a lot of people are going to be dating soon, right? And so the biggest thing is some people will have the intention that they are going to date with a purpose. Like I'm going to date and eventually I'm going to find the one that I want. Whether it be I start dating in April and then by the summertime I'll have a boo. Or whether it be I'm just going to date the whole entire summer and then when the fall comes, I'm going to get me a boo. At the end of the day, people a lot of times are not aware of the other person's purpose. They are not very transparent about what's going on. They don't know if they're dating somebody because they just want to get some on a regular basis or because they really want to find that one. So fortunately, we did get a few inboxes about the chapter that we were going to talk about. And this one, which is actually one of my favorite ones, transparency of the actual core intentions. So this chapter basically is just kind of going over the fact that when you are dating somebody, when you have an interest in somebody, you should set your intentions and be honest about them, right? Because a lot of times we start dating a person or we meet somebody and we're not honest with them. We may say, yeah, I'm really not looking for a relationship. I'm looking for just a boo, somebody that I can sleep with, somebody I can hang out with, but I don't want anything serious. When that's not the actual truth. You really are. They really are looking for a relationship. They really are looking for a husband or wife, but they're not honest about that. Then you have ones that will say, well, I'm looking for a relationship when they are not. They really just want to be single and just enjoy being single. But they enjoy being single with the benefits of being with someone on a regular basis. Mm-hmm. That's what this chapter is basically talking about. So I figured, listen.
I have a question on that.
Yes, Marvin, we ain't even into a discussion yet.
well, because I thought you missed something because I have gone in relationships where I had good intentions at the beginning and then all of a sudden it changed where I really did go in there honestly.
Right. No, I was going to say that is true. But this particular chapter is talking about when you set out with certain intentions. See, Marvin, you're already ready. No. So this particular chapter is basically saying like when you meet somebody,
mm-hmm.
you may meet them with the intentions of like, listen, I'm trying to give you my phone number because I'm in a position now where I want to date, and I want to date with a purpose of finding the person that I want to be in a relationship with, right?
Right.
That may be your intention. They may give you their phone number and say, yeah, that's my intention also. Mm-hmm. But not be honest when their intention may just be, I think he's handsome, I just want to sleep with him. But if he really want to leave that's what I want, then that's fine. So that I just saw your face turn up. So that's what his face just turned. So that's what this chapter is basically saying. Like you have to be honest about your intentions when you are meeting somebody. Like when you are talking to somebody, if you have the intention of dating, you have to be honest about that. If you don't have the intention of dating and you just want to sleep with them, you have to be honest about that too. That's what this chapter is about. All right. So T. Yes, T.
All right. So I got so many questions about that. Really, only because it's like I mean, I know, right? I get it. I get what they're saying, what he's saying. But at the same time, it's like if I'm out kicking it somewhere, say we out at a bar or something and we chilling and somebody approach me or whatever, I'm not gonna be first thing when they approach me like you talking about at that stage. Like, oh no, my intention is dating. Is you looking to you know what I'm saying? Is you looking to get married soon or this, and that? I mean, because you don't really know yet until you actually meet them. You understand? Like, or you
Yeah.
might not even know. You might even have the intention of, oh, I just want to sleep with this person, but then you end up falling in love with the person.
Right.
True. That's very true. But when you know, okay, so that part is very true. But you know when you meet somebody, like a lot of times, you know when you meet somebody, you know when you out and you are on a hunt, and you know the position that you are in mentally.
Right.
I'm not ready for anybody's relationship. So anybody that I meet at this point in time is probably not going to go nowhere because I don't want no relationship. Like I want to have, I want to date. I want to be single, and I just want to.
I think I usually let that be known about
a lot of people. Don't.
Yeah, I might be transparent about that maybe after like first or second or third time I you know what I'm saying, once I start to realize like, okay, this person might be trying to get a little bit more serious than what my intentions are, then I make it known like, look, I'm not even ready for none of that. But you know, when I first off the back, I'm not going to really set those intentions until if I really feel like I might like you a little bit, and then I'll see where your head is at.
But the point is that a lot of people are not doing
people don't doing it. Yeah, they're not doing it.
They are not being. They are not.
And why do they feel like they need to lie about it? Yeah,
and that's what this chapter is about being honest. Yes, Mark.
I know what that chapter is about, but let's make a transition to real life. Chapters like that, but I've been in relationships where I started off with good intentions, and then all of a sudden I don't want a serious relationship. I changed, and what happens when you change and you start off like that, but you just change. You like you said before, I started off not liking a person, and all of a sudden I did want a relationship. So sometimes it's very, but I think as long as you being honest with them as the relationship is going ahead, things change, and they shouldn't get upset with you when things change.
But see, you know what? I got a homeboy that would literally like, you gotta check in every so often to see if you like, he checks in with his people to make sure you on the same page.
Right.
So like every so often, like let's check in and see if our intentions are the same, to see, make sure somebody ain't falling in love, because that's not what I'm looking for. You understand? And at first I was like, that's kind of wild, right? But then when you think about it, it's like, you know, it actually makes sense, because at some point somebody is going to progress faster than the other person.
Yeah.
And it's like you go in like, I don't want that, but then like, oh dang, I think I got struck by Cupid real quick.
Right.
Like I know there have been times when I've had conversations with the same person. Like, listen, I don't want to be your girlfriend. I just want us to stay with this. I don't want to be your girlfriend. And I've said it again, I don't want to be your girlfriend. Or they say, I just want you to be mine. Right. So I don't want to be your girlfriend. We've talked about me not being your girlfriend. When I got your phone number, when I went out on a date with you, when we had drinks the other day, when you text me, when you call me.
Like every second.
I don't want to be your girlfriend. But I have to keep emphasizing that, because I don't want you to ever get me sending you a text like, hey, are you hungry? You want me to bring you lunch? I don't want you to ever think that that's me saying I want to be your girlfriend. I want you to understand that that's me having
just being nice.
I'm nice. I may want to see you later or the next day. I'm bringing you lunch because I want to make you smile. At the end of the day, I don't want to be your girlfriend. So I don't want you to keep thinking I want to be your girlfriend, because you have to be transparent with me too. You cannot be a female and assume that men are going to comprehend that, because some of them are not. Especially
you're right.
Well, both ways. Sometimes we like that. That we don't want a serious relationship, but
and we don't see that though, do we?
Right. I am going to be a gentleman, take you out and have some fun, and and be a gentleman, open the door for you and treat you to lunch, but I don't want no permanent relationship.
It will treat you
Bingo.
like you the straight girl, but it ain't no title, right? But I'm gonna treat you
Nothing.
just like you, my girl. But I don't want nothing from you.
And
And then get mad when the girl fall in love with you. Like,
Right.
but you was
exactly.
giving me all the perks.
But I told you, but you can't get mad because he told you.
Right.
And
Yeah.
listen, see, I have been called selfish.
Mm-hmm.
You are insensitive. You don't care. That's not true because I cared enough to let you know. Listen, I don't want to be a girlfriend. Like I don't want to be a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Like my priorities are my son and work and making sure that my son is okay. I don't have the interest in putting any more effort into another person at this particular time. But I have to be honest. Like you got to tell people that, like I said, even with men, especially with men, you have to be honest with them because their pride is so big that if
Mm-hmm.
you get a female that they done paid a bill, they done took her out,
Yeah.
they bought her dinner, they done bought her shoes, they done gave her money, they done cash out her money. Them hearing months later, I want to be your girlfriend. Get you on Murder Inc. because they spent so much money.
Yeah. And see, that's at that point, and I definitely get that because I know I was I was dealing with somebody that it's like even though I kept being very transparent about it, like no, that's not what I'm looking for. No, I'm trying to work on me. But every second it would still turn around and it'd be something deeper than what, and I'm like, are you not getting me? But it got to the point where I was like, you know what, I'm not even entertaining this no more because you're looking for something that I know I can't offer you at this moment. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
just step back, even though I want to selfishly just go ahead and take advantage of all this niceness that you're kicking me right now because I do need some
Mhm.
male attention. But at the same time, it's like, nope, I'm gonna just go ahead and step back because I know I don't want to be the one responsible. As soon as I do something that's gonna be out of the way or sideways, then you're gonna be looking at me like I'm crazy, and then now my name all bad in the streets, and then I done created karmic debt for myself. So let me back up
Well,
out of here real quick.
I
Hmm.
think in different stages of my life, I was there. Maybe in my 20s, I played with that too long, and then I got hurt. And then in my 30s, when you was crystal clear, when you was crystal clear about your intentions, I understood it and I dealt with it. And then in my 40s, I was somewhere else. I think sometimes when you're young, you make those mistakes, but then you realize I'm not going to make that again, and
You
you got
learn.
better with it.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you're a little older, you're a little more straighter, and you've been through some things and you understand things a little better. I
Yeah.
don't think you can do to me right now what you did to me in my 20s.
Right.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Nope. And that's what this is, and that's what this basically that's what that particular chapter is basically about, like knowing the actual core intentions to avoid the drama and the lying that is associated when you're not. You know what I mean? There could have
Hmm.
probably a lot of friendship saved, a lot of drama, especially on social media. Like,
Oh
if
yeah.
dealing with somebody and you are friends with them on Facebook or like Instagram and they lying and you know that they lying, you're going to see 150 memes and messages that probably are about that person because somebody is on the other end of being hurt. So there's so many things that can be avoided by just being honest and just telling them, listen,
But
I'll get your phone number. I'm probably not going to want to be with you, but I'm gonna get your phone number. I'm probably going to want to sleep with you, but I'm not trying to be nobody's other half. I just don't want to. And if it means that you don't want to talk to me no more, then it's fine. But it will avoid.
Right.
but
Marvin,
sometimes we bring it on ourselves. I brought hurt on myself before. It's not always the other person. Sometimes they're very clear at the beginning. They want to be your friend, but you like, I want to make this more. I'm gonna turn that. I'm gonna change that person. You two never said that. You're gonna change this person that
Hmm.
you want a little bit more than that. Sometimes as a man, we are who we are at the beginning. Take the sign. Deal with the signs.
leave
They
me the hell alone.
so I
Honest.
messed up before. I try to make a friend into a girlfriend, and that doesn't work. Sometimes a friend is a friend, but I tell you what, as you get older, I got better with that kind. And sometimes I don't play with it. Sometimes you play with a snake. At the beginning, they was like, "No, I don't want no relationship." and then you need to move on and not
Hmm.
go in and say, well, I'm gonna try this anyway. You
Yeah,
know?
it is a trap. It's a big trap. You be sitting
Yeah,
up there like, nah,
A
I'm
big
good.
trap.
I can roll with this. I can do this. The
right.
next thing you know,
No.
you like, wait.
You see all the signs. You see all the signs. You're like, no, I want something else out of these signs. No, it's going to get better, but it
Yeah,
doesn't.
it doesn't. Look,
It,
I did it for 20 years, honey. So I, I definitely
I
know
did it.
about that.
I I did it for. I didn't do it for that long. I think I did it for I did it for maybe about 3 or 4 months. I was dating somebody. They were really really good to me, and I kept finding reasons on why I didn't like them. I kept finding reasons like, hey, they doing this, they doing that. Da, 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 da. Reality was they got on my nerves because I didn't like them. But I kept trying. They got on my nerves because I didn't like them because I wasn't honest about my feelings, about the fact that I didn't like them like that. Like I liked them, but not to the extent of being in something serious, like like with them. And then eventually it ended badly. Like they hate my guts. It's perfectly fine. I started talking to one of their friends, so it's fine. It is what it is.
Well,
But I
The
started
book
messing
is
with
written
their friends.
about her.
right.
I started messing with one of their friends, and
That,
I didn't care at that point. I was like, "Well, at this point, I told you that I didn't want to talk to you. I didn't even know they were friends until later on, and it was what it was. They actually told my bartender I want to pick a brick up in here, and I was like, "Really? You want to hit me? You want to bash me in the head with a brick over this?" But I'm honest about my intentions. I mean, I still didn't care. I was like, well, you can hit me with the brick if you want to. I'm going to get my people, and it'll just be what it is. But I was wrong. Like I was wrong in every way, shape, or form. I was wrong because I wasn't honest about what it is that I wanted. And that's why I like this chapter because it talks about just having just blatant like honesty. Like that's all you need. If a person's going to get mad, they're going to get mad, but they can never say that you strung me along and that you lied and that you were not upfront with me from the beginning.
Right. You're
And
right.
so speaking of honesty and just being upfront thing, that's something that men should do. Men don't do a lot of times. Men just don't do it. They lie a lot and just do whatever. I had to throw some man bashing in there. Really.
Right. I was like, huh?
what you should be, I'm a man, so y'all need to be cool.
And
You
then
need
I
to
be
be
doing
cool.
it well because I was trying to lead into the boys to men situation. A lot of times, a lot of the young dudes in Baltimore are just not. I don't know what's happening. I mean, that was my transition. It was a bad transition, but it is what it is. Um, we're gonna talk about Marvin's mentoring program, boys. We need to
Well,
talk about that because, like, the state of the city right about now
I
and
know.
well,
that's happening is just bad.
and we can connect this a little bit too. That's a great part about mentoring because as an older man, you can talk to these young men about young ladies, about dating, about being honest. And they're our sisters, so you don't want to abuse them and use them. You talk to them about treating them right. And plus, to be honest with you, my mentoring program is about how to interact with the young ladies as well. It's about how to be successful
Okay.
in school and out of school. But also, it is a strong segment in how to interact with young ladies.
I love
So
that.
Hmm.
we do that, and I always needed a mentor. I had my father in my life. He taught me a lot of things, but I noticed there's a strong population in the Black community, a large part where we don't have mentors or you don't have very good ones. So I started a mentoring program at my church called Boys to Build, but I also started one in my school that was called Boys to Men. And in school, it was to talk to them how to be successful in school as well as out of school, and how to get along with young ladies and how to volunteer. And it's going really well. It's been going on for 5 years. You graduate, we have a tie ceremony, you get a tie, and you go through a rites of passage of
So let me ask you because you got into a lot about the program itself. Like you grew up with the both of your parents, right? You had
yeah.
both parents
Mhm.
in the household, which a lot of kids now they don't have. A lot of them are coming from single parent homes. They being raised by grandparents, and they're not necessarily being raised by their actual parents. A lot of kids not, so they don't have that male influence like within their homes. What motivated you to do that? Like, because like you and I have talked about like being a part of the streets of Fairtown and just things that would happen when you were younger. So like when you became an adult, like what motivated you to want to actually start this program?
Well, when I grew up in Sandtown, I was working. I was doing like I got a job at a church, and the lady wanted me to be a janitor, and I was like, no, I don't want to do that. I saw it was a daycare center. I said I can work with those kids better than some of the women could, and so she gave me a chance, and I was doing Sandtown stuff. But every day when I went to this after school program, the boys and girls, they used to wait at the door for me. And it was like, well, Mr. Briscoe, they knew you show up after school. Did you going to take them to basketball, baseball? I had somebody who depended on me and relied on me, and I felt needed when I went to work for my part-time job. They made me like myself a little bit more than I did. I didn't really like myself, but they respected me. They looked up to me. And when they had problems, they would let me settle it. And I just enjoyed being at work because I felt people enjoyed me. So after a while, I felt like they saved my life. And so I wanted to give back to them. And that's when I became a school teacher. So I came out of Carver Vocational, and it was like, well, what do you do next? So I went to Morgan, and I was like, well, what do you know how to do? So I knew how to work with kids. So I went in there for elementary education. So I wound up getting my master's at Coppin in education and a bachelor's in social work. And
Nice.
so you're mixing social work up with interacting with children and adults, learning the stages of it. And that turned out to be pretty good. The young men at my first experience at Carver at Forest Park, they really respected me. I was a young teacher, and they listened to me. And I don't know, I was just very popular in my first year. And then my 3 years at Forest Park was the best 3 years I could have had being a teacher.
What? No, I'm sorry for cutting you off. Go ahead.
I coached track. I taught in the classroom. And actually, when I was at City, I didn't go through normal teaching classes like some people, because I got my degree in social work first. So the kids told me when I walked in, said, I never had a male teacher, Mr. Briscoe. I'm gonna help you out. They taught me more than other teachers taught me. They said who let out to go to the bathroom, who keep you in the room, how to teach, what you say to people, who to watch out for. I learned a lot from them. They really helped me career out a lot. So that's where the mentoring come at. They accepted me.
That's what's up. So when you say like the mentoring part, because I know like my idea of mentoring is like you have somebody that you look up to, somebody that basically guides you through whatever period of your life that you are with them. If you have questions, you need advice, you need somebody to kind of, when you start to veer off and go a different way, that person kind of helps bring you back and basically helps you focus. So when you say that's what your program, when you say you have a mentoring program, it like that's what you basically do. Like you guide,
you support them. I started a male group in Forest Park, and it just came natural where they come up to me and ask me questions. I was available for them. They asked me questions. I'd always try to watch what I do so I can set a good example for them. I dress well. I interact with people well. I studied hard. I worked hard. And when they watching you, you want to always lead in the right direction so they can follow you. Yeah. So, and I always read up about Black males and our image with how people looked at us. So I wanted us to do better. So I didn't mind going out there and helping out with other Black males and doing stuff for the Black community. And I graduated from Morgan State. They always teach you how to go back in your community and be a leader. They didn't want you to. They didn't just say go and fill your pockets up, Briscoe. It was like, now that you are a leader, let's go back in the Black community and do something. So
Yeah, and make it work. T, you have anything for? Because
No,
I'll be cutting you off when I get excited about a topic. So I was like, let me. I don't want her to get mad at me.
No, I was just connecting and basically just thinking because my son now is 20 years old, so just thinking about when he was in middle school, high school, in that era of his life where he really did need a mentor, and like you were saying, they weren't really available, um, especially within the school system. I didn't feel like it was. Um, to me, he didn't have that outlet that I think that he should have had access to. I probably could have looked out and probably tried to find mentoring programs, but
mhm.
just to have them, readily
Right
accessible.
there at the school.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's something that they should provide for all city schools. I know it's a limit in funding and stuff like that, but when it comes to certain, I
Yeah.
don't know what the liabilities are. You know what I'm saying? The different laws it might be just involve those types of programs.
You right. First of all, you have to make sure you have males available. Like I teach at Catonsville Middle. It's like there's only two black males in my building. So you say you're right. You gotta the men gotta be there first to get some help to be a mentor. You gotta
Right.
have that population of black men available for them. So and when I was put in the city, it was a lot more men in the building than in the county.
Yeah, and it
So
just seems like they didn't really. I guess they care, but I guess when you're dealing with the city school system like that, it's just so much going on with all the different students that you
yeah,
can't really put the attention into just one. I'm getting, but I do know, like I did see how my son was really troubled when it comes to school, and it's a lot for a single mother. You know what I'm saying? To try to
yeah,
take on to do that. And if you don't know the resources to have the resources, or if you just, I mean, I'm gonna just say in my case, I'm not gonna say that I was ignorant to it, but probably, I guess, if you are a mother where you try to do the best that you can do by yourself,
right.
um,
And
Yeah.
yeah,
just
that makes sense. Yeah,
you do just having them in the building, you turn into a mentor. If I was your son teacher, that was my mentor, and I was
right.
right there
Mhm.
for him. He could see me how I carry myself. I can he can talk to me. It just happened naturally. You just gotta be in the
You got
place.
to be
And
passionate about it, and
yeah,
that's what
Mhm.
I
Be willing to
admire
help.
because you can see it and sense your passion you have about it. Because even me as a professor, I take on my students even after they graduate. Like I become their mentor. I help them in their small
yeah,
businesses or different things. But you don't really get that because people aren't passionate or connected to really helping our youth. Because, like you said, every day, what people are getting murdered, and like the Safe Street dude was shot in his head. Just different things that are taking place, and these are
Mhm.
people that are in leadership positions. Because
yeah,
I graduated from Morgan State too, as well, and even Coppin State, I graduated in a dual program. But
yeah,
all through my college career, we were taught that leadership skill, going out there back into the community
yeah,
and giving
yeah.
back, right?
Mhm.
But what do you do when the communities are not accepting you as the help? You just reach out to the ones that are
Yeah,
gravitating to you.
yeah, that's what I do. I'm there for any kid in Catonsville Middle, but if some of them want to be around me a little bit more, so they come around you, ask questions, they talk to you, so you there for them. And I started a male group, and the guys, some of them just joined the group because they wanted different things from the group.
Right.
It offended me when one lady she said to me, Mr. Briscoe, my son has a father. He don't need to be in a group. And that was very
Yeah.
disrespectful. And I felt sometimes when you say something back, it leads into something. So I had to let that go past me. Male group wasn't about having a father or son. It's young men breaking bread together, getting along with each other, setting goals together, interacting with each other. It's like a fraternity, and I'm
Yeah,
into fraternities.
yeah. And
I'm
you
in,
know what? Sometimes some boys can't connect with their dads like they can connect
right,
with the men.
right,
And yeah, I was gonna say, like, even just wanna just being a parent, a lot of times just with kids in general, just children in general, they can't connect with their parents because they can't do the separation emotions. A lot of times with parents, you have parents that their children may, like try to talk to them about something, and because that's parent, because they're emotionally invested, they may not take whatever is happening with, they may not want to take it lightly. They may not take it as, oh, they are just asking for advice. They want to take it as,
Yeah.
I'm about to go out here and get high, and I'm about to be a crackhead, and you got to hurry up and stop me, without realizing that I'm just saying, listen, somebody pressured me in, somebody like actually tried pressuring me to use drugs. And I told them no, but they won't leave me alone. So what should I do? They don't like it. So a lot of times it's really, really, it's a lot easier to speak with a neutral person, because they will give you the best advice, especially for young boys.
Yeah.
Because
Like my father was a strong disciplinarian, y'all. He was like, you got beatings in my house, and I didn't get in a lot of trouble because I was more scared of my father than getting suspended. So I wouldn't get in trouble because I know when I got home I was gonna get dealt with. But as we got older, I kind of was scared of him more than respectful. You don't want to be intimidating, father. You gotta find a balance, and it takes a balance. You want him to respect you, but you want him also to, you have to lay down the law too. So I found out working with people, it takes a good balance. You have to know when to be nurturing, but at the same time, you gotta be a disciplinarian. It's finding that balance in there.
what do y'all?
Go ahead.
Oh no, I'm sorry, because it's a little lag, so it looked like you had stopped talking for like a second. I'm sorry for cutting you off. What do you all teach them in the Bushman? Because you said in the beginning, like y'all work on, like you all work with them, like on
Well, I'm in a
females, how to be lady, how to be gentlemen, all that. So how?
well, it start with, like, I'm in two fraternities. I'm a Mason and I'm a Kappa. So I start my meetings off with a pledge. We made up a pledge for my group, and that pledge is about being a good citizen, being a good role model, making good decisions. And after that, we talk about. I found a motivational tape about how to set goals, and we always have something motivational. And then after motivational, we go into the subject matter. And I always, not just me, I have a young lady that helps me out. Her name is Miss Dickinson, and I have another teacher, and his name is Mr. Dungy. We all just take turns, and we talk about a topic. Like before the new year started, we talked about setting goals for the year. We go over their report cards. We talk to them about their grades. We talk to them about behavior. We talked to them about when all of the race stuff was going on. We talked to them about race. We talked to them about girls. We talked to them about
Wait a minute, what are y'all telling them about girls, Marvin? What are y'all telling them about girls?
It's just basic things,
Y'all telling them about girls? Wait a minute.
just being respectful and how to interact with them, and you know, pulling out their chair for them, open up the door, being respectful to your mother. We have a young lady that's in our group, and that's the first time that ever happened to me in my life. Usually I made it all males, but this young lady, she helps out in the group really well, and she's real cool because she knows when to leave and when to stand in there. And sometimes when all that testosterone in a room, it's crazy. You need a young lady to be in there to kind of balance it out. So it's
those masculine and feminine energies.
yeah, and she's good with it. She's polite, she carries herself really well, and she's strong when she have to be. So that was something new for me. So,
I like that because growing up, I don't remember, like they had the Boys and Girls Club or whatever, and like I used to be a Girl Scout. I was a brownie, but then my little brownie leader mother, she took all of the cookie money and ran. So I really didn't have. We was selling cookies, and she took the money and like left the state. So like growing up, I didn't really have any mentoring program that I was a part of. I don't remember a lot of the dudes that that I like grew up with that were a part of anything like that they were basically raised by the streets. Like the streets told them
Yeah.
everything that they know, and they had to make a decision when they became adults whether they were going to continue that or whether they were going to break away from what they were taught and just be men and be off the corners and have jobs and themselves. They didn't have anybody to lead them, so I really do appreciate that. I think it's a wonderful thing. How do the boys?
You brought up a good point, because when I grew up in Sandtown, and then when you go in school, two different things. So I try to show the boys, like, well, I know when you on North Avenue and White Lock where you have to do things, but you're not in there. You in a school building. When you in there, you have to settle things in a proper manner. You have to let adults intervene and do the right thing. But when later on in the day, when you get on North Avenue and White Lock, I understand how you might handle things in the alley.
Yeah.
But it's almost like when you're in Rome, you do what the Romans do. They have to learn to adapt to their environment.
Mhm.
When you go in church, you don't act the same way that you out there on the corner.
Mhm.
You
Because
know,
you know better.
right? You hit the library. You know what you do in this library. So it's like, and then we talk about integrity. Integrity, y'all, is like doing the right thing. We talked about that last week. Doing the right thing because it's the right thing to do. You know what the right thing, and not always when adults around. Can you do the right thing when I'm not around?
When it's just
You
you
know?
by yourself.
And not getting a reward for it. Being intrinsic, you doing the right thing because it's the right thing to do, and you don't get money for it or a treat for it.
But a lot of that, I think, like you said, it has a lot to do with the upbringing too as well. Because I remember us growing up, as kids, and if we walk past adults, like we cuss like sailors, you know what I'm saying? But when an adult approach, we like shh, shh, you
Right,
can't say that.
right.
But
It's okay
now,
now.
Right.
yeah, it's no balance. But I'm like, is this all about? I guess we had that different upbringing, like you said, where we had this stern discipline. Um,
Yeah.
that was there by our parents, right?
And
Where
and,
now,
and mhm.
hmm
You don't know, you don't have that. I was gonna say a lot of the kids that are being raised now, like a lot of the kids that are doing it now, like a lot of the teenagers that are doing it now, their parents are. I'm 42. Their parents are younger than us. A lot of the younger kids, they like. I have friends that are, well, associates that are my age that actually have grandchildren that are 15 and 16. You know what I mean? Because they had their children at a young age.
Yeah.
So the generation and what's accepted from the time that we were little all the way up until now is completely different. They are raised by a different set of parents. They have a different set of values, and that we're not taught.
and grandparents are now like in their 30s.
Right.
Right. Yeah, the grandparents
Yeah,
are
grandparent in their 30. Yeah.
and the grandparents are literally about to turn 40. Their
Mhm.
kids may be about like 20, 25. And then you walking around here with a freaking 10-year-old that just don't care about cussing. Like they don't care because of the way that they are being raised. And really to each his own. I mean, at the end of the day, my mouth was horrible growing up. And I knew better, but I just had a little bit more respect when I got around adults. Now I'm here because I'm an adult too. It is what it is. But a lot of them don't. So it's a generational thing. But you are helping to fix that.
Yeah.
To
Mhm.
young boys, listen.
Yeah.
Did you
Be
offer alternative therapies like meditation and stuff as well? Like something to teach them how to balance that anger?
Yeah, we talked about that last week. I usually look up videos, and my coworker look up videos and tell us how to breathe and how to walk and how to like. And
yeah.
sometimes as an adult, you got to give them their space, and sometimes it's us that we have to like. When that child is out of control, you just don't jump in there. You give them a little bit of space so they can calm down and get themselves together.
Yeah.
So we go over different strategies with them
Right.
on how to
Right.
their anger.
Yeah, because I think it's highly important because we aren't really taught how to
Right.
deal with those areas of ourselves, like our insecurities or our fears, or those things that make us triggered, especially as children, to teach us how to be able to balance, our emotions and how we react,
Yeah.
when you get in certain situations. And I think I don't know, even in the school system, I feel like you should still offer that
We do.
to
We
help.
do.
Yeah.
In our school,
Yeah.
we have advisory in the morning. Like tomorrow morning,
Hmm.
my first class is advisory, and we talk about strategies like self control and
Okay.
how to hang your anger and how to handle this covert thing
that.
that you're in,
Yeah.
how to reach out to people, how to talk to people,
Yeah.
how to handle the covert thing in a positive way. It's not a class; it's advisory, and you go over just basic things about life
Right. Because
and
mental
human
health is real,
behavior.
especially within the youth. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I love
So
that. I love that. So if somebody has a child that wants that they want to get into the program, they want to get into Boise Men, they have um they have to be a student at Catonsville or
I'm a Kappa, and the Kappa have a Kappa lead, so their mothers can always reach out to Kappa Alpha Psi, the fraternities, and the Deltas have a male group. Check
love
out your
that.
fraternities and your sororities. I just found that the Deltas not only the Deltas have a male group as well. So
I
the
love
lady,
that.
she wanted me to help out with that group. So I'm waiting for them to get in touch with me. But in our school right now in Catonsville, we have a male group. It's virtual. We talk like we talking here, and they still learning. And what I like about
I
this is
love that. I want to
in
sit
my
in.
male group, when school going on, we get pizza and snacks, and you play basketball. You come in like this is how I know boys like basketball and they like pizza. So I was like, look, we're gonna talk about male issues first, and then you get the pizza and play basketball. You got to give them something to pull them in the door.
Nick, hello, Marvin.
Yeah, I'm here. The guys who
Okay.
come into the virtual thing now, you don't get no snacks. You got to be there because you really want to be
Right.
breaking bread with and socializing with the males. And we still have a large group of males. We have probably about 15 or 20 every Thursday at 3 o'clock at our school.
I love that. I just really wanted to sit on one. I want to know what y'all talk about. I'm just being nosy. I don't even want to sit in. I don't want to sit in on it because I have a son that is of the age like my Nicholas is 3. He would probably sit in there and wouldn't know what's going on. I just because
But
I'm
to
just
me,
so
but one thing I learned about males, sometimes they want to get away from you. I mean, nothing personally. A male want a male circle to be just a. It might be we might be talking about you. Like, look, this is how you get along with mothers, and this is how
They
you.
need that masculine
I
energy.
definitely want to be in that and that.
They want that private. They want that private time. You know
I want
that.
to hear this advice.
Imagine raising, being raised with women, and do you ever get in time where you're not without them? They're like, yeah, well,
Sure.
football is not but guys. I can be
Hmm.
me there, and I'm learning up being a guy.
You're
Sometimes you got
right.
to be in that
Because
personal
my son is
space.
all day mama's boy. He's at the age of 20. You're right. Like, I do wish he had, more male people in his life, So,
The groups
even that. Hmm.
they're out there. They're out there, and just you have to kind of like seek them out.
Hmm.
And I every school I've been to, I've been to North Bend, I had a male group. Forest Park, I had a male group. Golden Ring, I had a male group. Just about every school I've been in, I always had a male group. That's something that I like to do, and
I love
it always went really well. You know, you gotta, like you say, you gotta be passionate about it, and I always seem to do it well. So I feel like
Yeah.
Michael Jordan when I'm in my male group. I feel comfortable. They feel
Yeah.
comfortable with me. I'm good at it. You got to know when to back up from a kid, when to go in, when to back up,
Mhm.
but I do a lot of
Especially
reality
dealing with
therapy.
males.
I
Yeah.
do a lot of reality therapy. I don't play around. I'm like, this is the issue with you. Let me be clear with it. And this is how you want to
I'm tell you
improve
what
it.
it is.
I
It
don't
is.
do a lot of sugarcoating. And Tamika know me. I don't do a lot of sugarcoating. I come
I
in,
love that.
deal with it, and I don't do well with my granddaughter because I think I do too much male stuff.
So you probably do the same stuff that you do with Nicholas when he side eye you like, all right.
Right. But he listens though, don't he?
But he does listen. So it's always good. I will say for just boys, period, that are just from babies up to have that male presence, even for I just want to say for single parents, just for single mothers that, just this is a program, that Marvin is with that if you have a son at Catonsville, that you are a single mother and you feel like you don't, you need that male presence.
Right. You can just call
Yeah.
me and ask for advice.
Yeah.
I'm willing to talk to them. I have a social work degree. I've been taught, I taught for like 25 years, and I'm 61 years old. So, and I'm still raising my 22-year-old son. So I'm still learning.
Mhm.
It's it's ongoing, and I like to do what I do. So if I can help somebody, then I'm gonna help them.
All right, so let everybody know out there how they can get in contact with you if they have any questions about the program. If
Oh,
you have any, mothers, hell, any fathers, any aunts, any grandmothers that have
so
that
just
on
it's
board.
it's Briscoe at AOL.com, and and just call me, and I'm willing to help you with strategies on how to work with your child, and whatever I can do to help.
That's what's up. All right, so
I like to thank you for you and T, y'all. Thank y'all for giving me an opportunity to come on and talk about it. Yeah.
not a problem. We want to thank you. What's definitely just
Yeah, T, is your son gonna pledge? What you having your son do? What is the organization? You want him to be a cap, or you have to put him in our group?
I know, right? It sounds like something to think about. I was going to ask him too, like, hey, what you want to do? You want to get into something? But I was going to ask you that because I'm like, he's 20, he be 21 soon. Like,
Right.
then
So
you
we
never know.
so we recruit them early.
okay. I was like, you got to be a certain age range to do it. And I'm like, y'all probably be looking at me like, he's a grown man. Like,
You gotta put him in this group. That's a grown man. Wait a minute.
But what he doing is he could probably be a mentor to other guys, because when you 20 and you see
mhm,
15-year-olds gravitate to the 20-year-olds. If I'm
Yeah.
in my mentor group and we have although I have the most experience and I have these degrees and stuff, and I'm 61, but my boys are like 11 and 12. I met a 30-year-old guy came in our group, and they just start going to him automatically. The youth just like the youth. They just
right,
they
right,
they gravitate to him. So
right.
he would
And
be
you,
a good role, and it helps him stay straight.
yeah.
I
And you
don't like to
Mhm.
do anything wrong because I know I got boys looking after me.
Yeah.
It
And
keeps
it
me
encourage
straight.
him to want to do more for
Right.
himself. Hmm.
that's what I was going to say. A lot of times, just us as people, you may think I should be doing more. I should be doing this, blah blah blah. I'm not the greatest person, yada yada yada. But it could be somebody that is younger than you that
Yeah.
is looking at you like, I like everything about them. I love their personality. They always have it together. There's always that one person that may be looking at you and that may think that you are just the greatest. Like you are possibly the person that is, going to lead them to like something great.
Yeah.
So, you know,
And,
I,
and
I did.
I like my school at Catonsville because it's mixed root is majority white, but white. I feel like white young people need to see good black people, so they don't the stories that they hear about them, they know it's not true. I
Hmm.
went to Highland Park. I had one white teacher in there, and when people used to talk about white people, they they I knew it wasn't Mr. Baker because he was entirely different in everything they said.
Hmm.
So it I learned from that one man being in my building. And whatever they talk about people, I was like, nah, that ain't him. I wouldn't tell it to them, but I knew in me that he was a good person.
Right.
So sometimes you have to have different races in these places to show people
I believe in
the count of
diversity.
what they hear about them, so they know
Hmm.
it's not true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The diversity, just to even just to know and learn different cultures and how everybody acts. It's like even though we
Right,
got different skin colors, it's still about human behavior, like you said, and just really getting to step outside of what you are
right.
what you are used to. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a good feelings to me. I love to be in my school. I have Indians, Hispanics, Japanese. I have everything. My school is so full of so much diversity, and I'm like, I just love that.
Hmm.
I love that. And I have to learn about different cultures as well.
Right.
Yeah, I'm just glad that that they do have you. I'm glad that they do have that program for the ones that do qualify for it, and I mean that that are like at the school that can benefit it, and I think it's a wonderful thing. And I wish you well. I wish the kids well, and they, the ones that are in that program, they actually take it and use the things that they're being taught to know that there are a lot of positive influences out here.
Yeah.
You hope for the negative. You don't have to, yeah. There's a better way to do things, and this is going to get us there. So I thank you.
Are we going to do our positive affirmation?
Yeah, T, I was getting it, but I was trying to wrap it up because Marvin can talk, and I love it. Marvin can talk. That's why I was like, wait a minute, because we'll be talking about this until 12 o'clock, and I'm
right.
Nah. No, but I
I
promised an hour, so I was like, nah, I saw what we were, so I was getting wrap up into it. T. So Marvin, so before the end of our shows, every show that we do a positive affirmation. It could be whatever you want it to be. You could just say something as simple as, hey, it's Monday, it's fun day. Make it count. That's your positive affirmation. It's whatever you want it to be. So just leave us something that you want to send out there.
Well, I have a lot to send out there. What I want people to do is I want them what I learned to do as an educator now is like all the stuff that's going on in the world. I always have to let them know there's light at the end of the tunnel. So regardless of how bad anything is, I have to find, and I don't make up stuff. You have to be genuine with them. You find some positive things that's going on, and you let them like, hey, that's going on, but like what's going on in the Capitol, that wasn't everyone. That was a portion of the population, but that's not everyone. So I have other white friends who resented that, who didn't like that, and wouldn't do that. So that's my point of looking at the light at the end of the tunnel. That's just a small population of people doing something that's inappropriate and wrong.
Oh, that's right. Thank you, Marvin. Marvin, teach a lesson. See?
Now, I really don't have a direction with this, but I'm gonna just speak it and see how it flows out. But it was more about trauma bonding, right? So a lot of times we end up thinking that we can be people's saviors when it comes to relationships, especially. And I just wanted to really just say, like, just stop staying with people because we think we can be their saviors. The person is abusive, and you have to recognize that and break the unhealthy cycle, and save your goddamn self. Can I say that? Yeah. And just simply save yourself
Right.
at this point because you got to be able to know the difference between an unhealthy and healthy situation, relationship, however it resonates.
Like that. I like that.
I like it. Well, I have a whole speech. This topic and everything, it reminded me of a time back in like I think like 90, 91, maybe something like that. When this song came out, and I heard it the other day, and I was in the car singing it. Nicholas was in the back seat looking at me like, "Are you serious?" It is "Tomorrow" by what you call Quincy Jones and Tyler Campbell. But I thought about it because
I like that. I like that
because we're talking about just the future and just being happy. It really is a happy song. And my favorite part is you should never give hope. I'm sorry. So you should. I don't want to sing, but I'm just gonna go ahead and sing because that's what I need to say.
All right.
So you should never give up on your hopes and your dreams. You gotta get up, and get into it, get it on to be strong. That's my favorite part of that song. And
that wasn't bad.
Thank you. That's my favorite part of that song.
He was pumping you up too, right?
Yeah, that wasn't bad. That wasn't bad. I like that.
I feel like I'm about to start singing the whole song. I'm about to sing the whole song. But that's my favorite part of that song.
Kevin Campbell, yeah.
Yes, that's my favorite. That's my favorite. I know that song by heart. That's my verse because no matter what happens in life, just literally as adults,
Yeah.
things happen and life happens, and we get knocked down,
Yeah.
get depressed, we suffer losses, we deal with a lot. But just remember that every day that you wake up is a brand new day and you still have time to do what makes you happy. Just don't ever get discouraged because you still have time. As long as your eyes are open and you're breathing, you have time.
All right.
Oh, that's all. So I just thought about that because I really was in the car the other day singing it, and my child was in the back looking at me like, "Are you serious?" Yeah, Elmo. I was like, "Well, we're gonna hear this, and then we can hear Elmo." So thank everybody for being here.
Yeah.
Thank you, Marvin.
Well, thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you to everybody that left a comment. All of our listeners, our watchers, and we will see y'all back here on what, February the 1st?
Yep,
February the 1st. All right. So it's been a beautiful night.
Right. All right.
Bye, Marvin. Bye,
Bye.
T.
Take it easy. All right.